welcome to this week's horsemanship class. Today we're going to talk about clucking. So clucking is the single most important communication tool that you will use with your horse when you're controlling them on the ground, when you're riding with them. So it is how we do our ask. So in lessons we learn to use an ask, tell, command system. That means whenever we want to ask our horse to do something, whether that's move over, go forward, trot, lope, we ask without any degree of punishment. So that's the ask. The tell is if our horse does not respond to our ask and we need to start applying a little bit of pressure. So we say that with the tell, it's minor pressure to reinforce our ask. So an example of our tell would be squeezing with our legs or putting some pressure forward in the lead rope. And if the tell doesn't work, so if we go through ask, tell, and those two don't work, meaning our horse doesn't go, doesn't respond, doesn't back, whatever we're asking, then we go to what we call the command. And the command is where we start putting more pressure on. This might be where we kick. This might be where we start tugging hard on our lead rope. If we're using a crop and we've exhausted all of our ask and our tell, this might be where we use our crop. So, but it all starts with the ask. And if a student doesn't know how to cluck, that means they don't know how to ask their horse to respond and do what we want them to do. So if we don't ask and we have to go then into the commands, it means that instead of asking our horse, we're going right into the degrees of punishment. So again, the cluck is the most important communication tool that we have in requests that we make to our horse. So a lot of people don't know how to cluck. And it's a difficult maneuver with our tongue. I'll go through the how in just a minute. It's really important though that we don't just give up on this and say, oh, I don't cluck, I don't know how, my tongue doesn't work that way, and just accept that we can't do it. Because really what that means is that you're accepting no longer asking your horse and going right into the levels of punishment. So here we have our tongue. And I'm just gonna kind of walk you through one, what the cluck sounds like, and then two, I'm going to use our pretend tongue to show you where the sound comes from. So here's our cluck. It should be loud, and we should, the noise should come from the back corner of our tongue. So if this is our tongue, and this is the very tip of our tongue, we make the noise of the cluck by bending our tongue here in the back, pushing the tip of our tongue up against the roof of our mouth in front, and then using a suction noise that pulls air out of the back corner of your mouth. So that suction noise would kind of suck the back corner up off of the roof of our mouth. So again, we kind of curve our tongue. We put the tip of our tongue up on the roof of our mouth, right behind the front of your teeth right here. And then back here in the back corner, kind of pulls up off the roof of our mouth and brings a suction in from way back here. So there are a lot of improper versions of the cluck that people have adapted if they aren't able to do it. One of them is clucking with the very tip of their tongue. So that would just be doing that suction right here. The horse can't really hear that. So if you're doing a cluck with the very front, just with the tip of your tongue, their ears are all the way out in front of you, filled with fur, and that's not really a noise that carries all the way out there. So another improper cluck or version of the cluck that people will use is a kiss. That's another one that the horse can't hear very well, but you also can't change the tone of it. So in the later, more advanced levels of riding, we need to be able to do this, and we need to be able to do this, and we need to be able to do it quickly, and we need to be able to do it slowly in rhythm. And you can't really do that with a kiss, nor can you do that with the improper cluck using the tip of your tongue. So anyhow, hopefully my paper plate helped. Again, the tip goes up against the back of your teeth, and the back corner way back here does the suction. So try to set a time where you practice this. Some people say they practice it in the car on their way to lessons, in the car on their way home. I've had kids that say they practice it when they're lying in bed and they can't sleep. But wherever, whenever, however, please practice so your horse understands what you're asking and you don't need to unnecessarily go into various stages of commands or punishments.